The European Union is at serious risk of finding itself in breach of the Brexit divorce deal, Michael Gove today claimed. The Cabinet Office minister issued a warning shot to Brussels amid fears that the bloc's member states have not done enough to protect the rights of UK citizens living in their countries. Downing Street is concerned there is widespread disregard for the terms of the withdrawal agreement that say people should be allowed to remain in either the UK or EU after Brexit. Spain, France, Hungary, Slovenia, Cyprus, Austria and the Czech Republic have all been flagged as problematic countries for Britons hoping to apply for settled status before the post-Brexit transition period expires at the end of the year. Citizens have sent alarming claims to the government about their concerns surrounding each country's application process. In a letter to European Commission Vice President Maros Šefčovič, Mr. Gove set out a 4-point complaint. He said, the UK takes its withdrawal agreement obligations on citizens' rights very seriously. But he warned Brussels that the government has already received instances of misapplication of the withdrawal agreement within the EU. When viewed cumulatively, these themes amount to a serious risk that the EU will not fulfil its obligations under the withdrawal agreement by the time the transition period ends on December 31, 2020, Mr. Gove fumed. Amongst the concerns voices by Britons abroad, they said there had been a lack of awareness campaigns to highlight the application processes in each member state. Some governments have refused to translate their information into English, while others also had sparked concerns with the demand of face-to-face meetings despite the coronavirus pandemic. In some capitals, EU governments had yet to announce their plans to help vulnerable citizens, such as the elderly, apply for settled status. Mr. Gove wrote, the UK has made available support to vulnerable EU citizens, with grants of £9 million awarded to 57 community organisations and a further £8 million for 2020-21. In contrast, member states have not shared concrete information on what they are making available to elderly, hard-to-reach or other vulnerable citizens. In many cases, there seems to be none. And others have left as little as 6 months for people to complete their applications after Britain leaves the transition period. There are around 1.3 million British-born people living in other EU countries, according to recent estimates by the United Nations. Around 900,000 UK citizens were long-term residents in EU countries in 2010 and 2011, data collected by the Office of National Statistics showed. Mr. Gove's letter escalates the row over the implementation of the withdrawal agreement further. Brussels has previously claimed the UK government was refusing to reveal its plans for customs checks between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The bloc pressed the government for clarity on how it intends to apply the post-Brexit trade procedures in a recent joint committee meeting. Mr. Gove and Mr. Šefčovič both co-chair the committee, which is in charge of overseeing the implementation of the divorce deal.